Welcome back. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Todd.
And this is Football Friday. Okay.
So, today our topic is football kits.
Okay.
Do you know what a kit is?
The what they wear for games and
Yes.
for training and
Yeah. So what they wear, we're all about the fashion.
yeah. Okay,
Cheers.
So cheers.
So the football kit fashion episode.
Okay.
So what do you think the absolute essentials are for a football kit?
Well, the shirt and the shorts, shin guards, the socks, and boots. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah. And for those of you who don't know, boots are shoes, right?
Cleats.
Yeah, cleats, boots. They don't have to have studs on them.
Okay.
But they pretty much typically always do,
Yeah.
right? So there's also some optional equipment.
Okay.
Do you know any optional equipment?
No.
Okay. Well, actually, there's one more piece of mandatory equipment. The team captain must wear an armband.
Oh yeah, the armband. Yeah.
Right. But optional equipment can be things like, so they can wear tights. If it's really cold, you don't want your legs to freeze off. So
they have gloves too, right?
Yeah, they're allowed to wear gloves. They can wear head covers, but there's some rules around what you can and can't do with those things.
Well, I know because Arda Guler always wears gloves when it's cold.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So they also are allowed to wear heart rate monitors of some kind, right?
Yeah.
So this kind of falls into EPTS, electronic performance and tracking systems.
Okay.
Now, this is actually becoming more and more common because it's good to be able to track heart rate and see. Who's recovering and who's not. So then this guy really may need to be substituted for because he's not going to make it through the game. So there are also some regulations around the boots and what you can and can't have on the cleats or on the spikes or studs. They call them all these things: studs, spikes, cleats, whatever, depending on where you're at. So can you imagine like one of the regulations there, what you can't do for your studs?
Have them sharpened?
Right. You can't have sharpened or bladed spikes, right?
Okay,
so it's all about safety.
I mean, it's not hockey, so yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, so yeah, that's the thing, right? In hockey, they're basically skating on metal blades with really sharp edges that allows them to turn real fast. So in football, they'll wear studded cleats or boots, and the material of the studs can actually vary depending on the type of surface and the position that they're playing. So if the ground's really soft and muddy, they'll probably opt for metal cleats. And if the ground is dry or soft, they'll usually go with plastic, as it's more lightweight. Defenders will more likely wear metal cleats also because it helps them do quick direction changes, movements, and be able to get up quickly after tackling and things like that. Yeah. And also may slow down the other guy after a tackle because he's got hurt by the metal spikes. So, and then forwards will tend to more wear lighter weight plastic for faster speed, right? So, and the boots themselves, do you know what material they're made of?
Plastic?
Often leather, actually. Leather or other synthetic materials. It could be, so it depends on what the comfort is. But it's I think leather is pretty sturdy and holds up well and works well for a lot of players. So that's pretty cool. Do you know what the shin pads are made of?
No.
There's a whole bunch of different materials they can be made
Okay.
of. You're going for lightweight but protective. And actually, most pros wear as small a shin pad as possible.
Yeah.
The rule, the only real rule is that it has to be safe, and it has to protect, or it has to be covered by the sock. So you can't have it exposed, right? So you can't wear bladed shin pads either.
Yeah.
But often they could be fiberglass or polypropylene or foam rubber, polyurethane, or even carbon fiber. So. Depending on, I was reading. There's been some studies done about how carbon fiber is actually more protective than like polypropylene, for example.
Okay.
So, yeah. So then also you can I guess wear undershirts as well. One of the things about it is that if and the shirt has to have sleeves. So,
okay. Yeah.
but I guess if the undershirt is going to show outside of the shirt, it's supposed to be the same color.
Okay.
And the same thing with undershorts or tights. It should match the tight colors. So, yeah. So also the ref is supposed to check the player's kit. Before each game, or before for the starters, and for the substitutes before they enter the field, for safety and other various things. Do you know what's not allowed?
No.
Okay. No jewelry.
Okay.
And you're not even allowed to cover the jewelry with tape or anything. And then
yeah, I know I think some of the players, they wear tape on their fingers as their rings instead of having the ring covered or anything. They just wear the tape on their finger.
Yeah. So you would have to take all the jewelry off.
Yeah, I know. I have a lot of jewelry on.
Yeah. So and anything dangerous is not allowed, right? So you can't wear something that has sharp edges and, or so that you can hurt another player. So, are you ever allowed to continue play without your shoe or shin guard?
No.
Actually, there's an exception. A player whose footwear or shin guard is lost accidentally must replace it as soon as possible.
Okay.
And no later than when the ball next goes out of play.
Okay.
However, if before putting his shoe back on, if the player plays the ball and scores a goal, the goal is allowed.
Okay, so if they don't have it...
So if, for example, you're running down the field, you're a forward, and the defender goes to tackle you and misses and knocks your shoe off, you're not one of the guys that will flop automatically for the free kick. You can keep going after the ball with one shoe and shoot and score, even with your socked foot, and the goal should count. As long as you don't go out, the ball doesn't go out of play before you score. So, so that's a fun little rule that's there. So do you know what the rules on colors are?
No.
Okay. So teams must wear colors that distinguish them from each other and the match officials.
Okay,
So the two teams have to wear different colors. Yeah. Do you know what the exception to that is?
The goalkeepers?
Right. The goalkeepers, the rules for the goalkeepers is the two goalkeeper shirts should distinguish them from the other players and the match officials. However, if the two goalkeeper shirts are the same color and neither has another shirt, the referee allows the match to be played.
Interesting. Okay, so if the teams have the same colors normally, like the goalkeepers, so they both wear yellow normally. Yeah. And they don't have another one that they can wear, they can both wear the yellow.
Yes. Yeah. So the goalkeepers can match, right? And then they can go out on a date afterwards or whatever. That's fine because they're matching.
I'm confused on the distinguish from the match official because I've seen the goalkeepers wear the same color as the match official before.
Then it may be that the match official allows it because that's the only jersey they have. I don't know.
I've seen Courtois wear the blue when the referee has also worn the blue.
Is it the same shade of blue? I mean, maybe
it looks like that. I mean, it's this TV. Yeah. To be fair, might just show it as the same shade.
It's probably different enough because I think our TV's a little old and we don't get the
it needs some plasmapheresis.
Yeah, we don't get 4K on our. Yeah, I mean honestly, when Real Madrid's wearing their orange shirts,
you can't tell it looks yellow.
Yeah, I mean it often looks very yellow. It depends on the angle and the green behind it and things like that. Also, the another interesting exception is goalkeepers may wear tracksuit bottoms.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's allowed. So, yeah. So, do you know the rules about advertising?
They can have some advertisers on their kits, but there's I know there's some rules, but I don't know.
Yeah, so mainly the rule is no political, religious, or personal slogans, statements, or images.
Okay.
Right. I don't know all the advertising rules, and that probably varies from league to league as well, and in international play compared to and all of these rules could be a little different depending on the specific league, but in general, this is mostly what the rules are across the board. So.
Okay.
Do you know what colors certain teams wear?
Well, I know, Manchester City wears the light blue, Real Madrid wears the white, Barcelona has, the red and blue.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you know, so for example, Real Madrid wears white, but that's their home kit, right?
Yeah.
When they're on the road,
it's a different color.
They wear orange
or gray. It's their third kit.
Yeah, their third kit's gray. So do you know Barcelona's kit colors? Besides the home kit of red and blue stripe?
I've seen their other kits, I think, but I don't remember what they are.
I think they're Barcelona's road jersey is maybe a lime green.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on this. Is what I saw online.
Yeah.
And then I think their third kit is black with a little blue stripe down the sides. Mm-hmm. And then Man City this year.
They have that really pretty maroon as one of their kits. Yeah, and then they have the kind of neon and black that makes them look like a reverse Bumblebee, and I don't like it.
Oh, I think that's awesome with the yellow and black stripes.
It looks weird. It's because it's the way the stripes are. It just looks off. It should be reversed.
Will the stripes also have a little the light blue outline on the side of the stripes? So so it's light black, light blue, yellow, light blue, black. Yeah. So, but the light blue is really thin, so I think it's kind of cool actually. I think they should look like a reverse Bumblebee. Yeah. That's cool. They should.
I don't know. That was
around.
The first time I saw those kits. Something about it. I was like, I don't like how the stripes are. It seemed like the yellow needed to be reversed with the black.
Yeah. So I was going to try to do a lot more research on various teams' kits, but that's as far as I got was those three: Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Man City. But I mean, we know some of the international kits, what is what you're wearing now, and
it's France. Yeah,
it's France.
They have their the rooster.
Okay.
I can't remember. I think the rooster is the national bird of France, right?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Google sometime what the national bird of France is.
Hey Siri, what is the national bird of France? Gallic
the
rooster.
national bird of France is the Gallic rooster, also known as the coq-gowa.
All right.
This answer is from...
Good.
So I was right. I knew that.
Good. Well, it's good we have these cool tools. Yeah. So, any other questions about kits?
I don't think so. I know I've seen a couple other ones. Oh, I was just thinking of one. Arsenal's kits. They have the red for their home kit, and their away kit is the black with some other colors. It's really nice.
Nice. Yeah, I think I think there may be some studies that teams wearing red tend to do a little bit better. So,
Liverpool and Arsenal are killing it this season.
Yeah. So I don't know, and maybe it's a psychological thing, or maybe the rest
it's how red cars go faster.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think the kits are fun. It's certainly interesting to there's I guess several main brands of sponsors for a lot of the kits,
like Adidas and Puma and Nike.
Yeah. Did you know? Did you know that both Adidas and Puma were originally founded in Germany?
Yes, by twin brothers.
Not twin brothers.
Oh, they weren't. They were just brothers.
Yes,
and one of them was a Nazi.
One of them was conscripted into the German army during World War II.
Okay.
So the fun thing is the brothers really did not like each other.
Yeah.
So, and in fact, the brother that got conscripted also got in big trouble for desertion. So the brother that didn't get conscripted was actually reported his brother to have him arrested. So when he deserted the army, so he got pulled back in. So I don't think either of them had very much interest in supporting the war effort on the German side.
Okay.
I think they really just wanted to make shoes.
Yeah.
So their last name was Dassler. So the younger brother was Adi, which is short for Adolf.
Yeah.
So and thus Adidas. Anyway, and the older brother was Rudy. And apparently Rudy was a pretty good salesman. So, yeah. But both companies are now owned by like large conglomerates, and so they don't have much throwback to the original. So.
Yeah. I know the women's kits are always the same as the men's kits, like for that team.
Oh yeah.
So like Real Madrid, the men's team wears like their white kit, and the women's team has the same kits.
Okay.
So I think that's really interesting because, at least like in Europe and like most other places, like in the U.S., because the men's teams and women's teams are so separate, like most of them are not part of the same club.
Right.
They obviously all have like different kits, but like in Europe, they all have to have the same kits.
Well, that's cool. So that's good. Well, it's interesting too because in international play, usually the nations, the men and women's teams will have the same kits as well. In that case. So it makes it nice to recognize who's who, and it's kind of interesting sometimes. A lot of the teams will wear colors that have nothing to do with their flag color, but then other times they'll wear colors that do have.
Yeah, I know, because like England is white and blue instead of white and red, and their flag is white and red. So I think that's interesting. Yeah,
to me the most striking example is the Dutch. So Netherlands.
Oh yeah, they have the orange.
They wear the orange kit, so that's pretty cool. So yeah. And they typically do pretty well.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good high-level summary about football kits. That's about all I know about them anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that should be good.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't talk about the numbers.
Yeah.
I know the numbers.
You know the numbers.
Well, 1 is typically reserved for the first choice goalkeeper.
Good.
2, 3, and 4 are typically defenders. 5, 6, 7, and 8 can be defenders, but they're mostly midfielders. 9 is typically a forward. And I'm pretty sure 10 and 11 are also usually forwards, but like wingers. But they can also be like midfielders.
Right. And that's where the false 9 comes from.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I think that's, really interesting.
Oh, good. Yep. And the captain's armband too is he's the only one that's supposed to be allowed to talk to the referee, I guess. But
that doesn't happen.
Yeah, but I think we have lots of side conversations there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. Good. Thank you for the numbers because I didn't really really know that too much.
Yeah, I looked it up before because I got curious. Because like number 1 and number 9, like that's pretty. And like number 2, I think most people, if you watch even a little bit, you can kind of figure out those 3 numbers, right? But usually, But players can also, they have the option to choose whatever number they want to wear. So, except for the 1 through 11.
Yep.
I think.
Players. So that's the normal starting players that wear those numbers.
Yeah. I mean, not necessarily, but in way back when it first started, it was that was important because I think actually when they first started playing football, it was one team was 1 through 11 and the other team was 12 through 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now how about the second string goalkeeper? Will he wear 21 then or 22 or?
No, I mean, I've seen a lot of different, I think maybe 13 is one I've seen, but
Okay.
I've seen a lot of different numbers. I think after that, they kind of let them choose what number they want to wear.
Yeah.
For example, Phil Foden wears number 47 because his granddad passed away when he was, not when Phil Foden was 47, he's not 47 yet,
Okay.
but when his granddad was 47.
Okay, good. So so they can choose whatever numbers they are, but they just tend to stick to the to those basic numbers.
Yeah.
And then the substitutes will probably wear whatever, and they cannot have the same numbers as any of the other players on their team.
Yeah, everyone has to have a separate number. But I think they might just get given numbers by people. They might not always choose it, but yeah, some players might decide to choose.
Okay.
Because Rudiger wears 22, and I don't know if that has significance to him because he's typically a starter.
Yeah.
And he plays in a number 2 role usually.
Okay. So I mean, he's 20 times better than.
Maybe. He just extra twos, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe he likes ballet and he's wearing a tutu.
Tutu. Yeah. Maybe.
Could be.
He is German.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Oh, that's very cool about the numbers. Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I have too.
Yeah. What's your favorite player's number, if you know?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't paid attention to the numbers.
Okay.
I can barely remember numbers in hockey anymore, and
Yeah.
but those I remember better. So
Yeah, I have to remember the numbers because otherwise I can't tell what player is which.
Oh yeah.
So I have to remember whose number is who.
Let's see. Does Valverde wear 8?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the one that I kind of remember. So
He scored a goal one of the games that played while you were gone. He scored the only goal in that game, and it was a last minute thing, and it was the 4th time he tried for a goal. He just kept missing it.
Yeah.
And then finally he scored 92 minutes in.
Was it right before I left? We saw the game where Declan Rice scored a couple of amazing shots.
Arsenal game,
Yeah.
the first Arsenal game. Did you see the second one, second leg of it?
I don't think I did.
Okay, you might have been gone already. Yeah, they Arsenal beat them 2-1.
Yeah.
To get there, which means Arsenal. So the funny thing is, Arsenal and Real Madrid played each other both on the men's and women's Champions League.
Oh, okay.
So for the same leg, same section of the Champions League. So I think it was quarterfinals, and Arsenal beat them, both teams.
Oh, good. So the Arsenal men's team beat Real Madrid, and the Arsenal women's team beat Real Madrid. Okay.
Which I have to say, the Arsenal women's team is incredible. Yeah. I do love the Real Madrid women's team, but Arsenal's incredible.
It sounds like Arsenal has a full arsenal of weapons.
Yeah, they do.
Good. Yeah. All right. Very cool.
Yeah.
So I think, are we good to wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
I forgot that I have more. Okay. Thank you for listening to Football Friday, and don't forget to check out our regular weekly episodes of Wine Together. If you want to join the conversation, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky @WineTogetherPod.
Bye.